Hi, we're Antonia and Richard. Welcome to Ant and Dick's Excellent Adventure.
Morning campers, here we are, day 9 in the diary room, and we are just about to leave Hungary and continue on eastwards into Romania. And there's Ant with the passports ready. Schengen zone you ask. More to come about that later. So here we are in the queue for the Romanian border crossing. Just past about a mile of trucks parked up. We're lucky enough not to have to join that queue, obviously, because we're not transporting goods. But there's about a 10-minute wait here. It's not too bad. Oh, I will put the camera down now, obviously, because they get a bit funny about you filming the border crossing. And they are all armed, so you don't want to mess them around. When I say armed, I don't mean they've got a pair of arms. I mean like sidearms, assault rifles, that kind of thing. So here we are, eventually through the Romanian border. Bit of a queue there, longer than we thought. But this is the queue coming from Romania into, well, we just come from Hungary, of trucks, just to give you some idea how far they tail back. And last year it was the same going into Bulgaria. The same thing at the border. As you cross the border from Romania into Bulgaria, there are just miles and miles and miles of trucks in a queue. God knows how long it takes them to get through customs, sorry, not customs, through passport control.
Just to give you an idea, we've been driving for 5 minutes now and finally the queue has ended.
A common sight as you travel through Romania, these little stalls beside the road. Generally just fruit and drinks. There's one there that's got all sorts of stuff. So they're quite interesting. We've never stopped at one, but they are quite interesting. So just so you know that it's not all fun. Not every single day is having a laugh, and the day started at 6:30 this morning trying to upload a video to YouTube, which was unsuccessful. The one we'd still trying to produce at nearly 9 o'clock last night before going to bed, and we've spent the first half an hour of the drive was okay, then it was, according to the sat-nav, quarter of an hour sat at the Romanian passport control, which turned out to be about 3/4 an hour, 3/4 an hour probably. We then sat on the motorway for 2 hours, done a windy A road for 20 odd minutes, and now we're sat on the motorway for another hour and 40 minutes. Isn't that wonderful? Don't you just love it, days like that? Hey.
And I think coming up ahead of us and round to the right are the Carpathian Mountains, or some of them anyway. Look at that, that's not a bad view for the main route through Romania, is it?
I don't know, because I'm watching the road. You can tell me off if I look at the view. I do sometimes have to remember, if I'm honest, that this is not a competition. We're not on military exercise. But not sleeping in the tent always feels like we're giving in somehow. But coming down the motorway this afternoon, it was torrential, monsoon weather. So here we are in an Airbnb for the night in Sibiu, in kind of central Romania, on the edges of Dracula country, really. But there's not much to see, I'm afraid, because it's just grey out there. But there's a bit of the skyline from the apartment we're in, which is really, really nice. Children's playground down there, no doubt EU funded, as they all are out this way. But that's just a quick view of the skyline. Darkest central Romania, Transylvania even. I suspect. Are we in Transylvania yet?
I believe so.
You believe so? Watch out for those bloodsuckers, darling. They're everywhere.
The navigation department will check it out.
Bit of roadworks going on, obviously. digging a trench by hand.
Whatever that says.
Whatever that says. Resurfacing it. Beautiful mountains.
Never
though.
seen. What's that? A sort of mesh arrangement going down.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, to be honest. Watch the tarmacking straight on top of it. Look. There.
Look at that. They've got a good system going.
Yeah. Staring. We get that a lot, don't we, darling? People staring at us.
Yeah, we do.
I can't imagine why. Stars of YouTube, Ant and Dick. That's what it is, obviously.
So the navigation team can confirm that we are indeed travelling through Transylvania, down through central Romania. How cool is that?
A common sight as you travel through Romania, these little stalls beside the road. Generally just fruit and drinks. There's one there that's got all sorts of stuff. So they're quite interesting. We've never stopped at one, but they are quite interesting. Our final night before entering Bulgaria. Here we are at a lovely campsite just outside Bucharest, capital of Romania. Almost hidden away in the woods. No, we just happen to be in the corner of the campsite, but it's quite interesting stuff. Now then, if you remember at the beginning of this video, I mentioned passport control at the Romanian border as we crossed. We have a little chat about the Schengen zone. Now if you understand cricket and the rules of cricket, then you'll be fine with this. Or if, like me, you don't follow cricket, it's going to be complicated. So when you cross the channel into France, obviously you enter the EU. You also enter the Schengen zone, the free movement zone, which allows you access to Germany, Austria, Italy, all those countries. And you just drive through as though there's no border. It in effect is borderless. And you're allowed 90 days within the Schengen zone. Now when you get to Romania, they are part of the EU, but they're not in the Schengen zone. So there is no customs, but there is passport control. No customs because they're in the EU still, but there is passport control because they're not in the Schengen zone. And the same applies to Bulgaria. So your 90 days that you're allowed in the Schengen zone doesn't count in Romania. You're allowed a separate 90 days in Romania, and when we cross the border again in a minute, tomorrow, into Bulgaria, you're allowed a separate 90 days there. So far we've had 8 days in the Schengen zone and 2 in Romania of the 90 we're allowed. And then of course it will change again when we cross the border tomorrow into Bulgaria. We're allowed another 90 days. So in effect you don't need to come back to the UK, because you could just, they call it Schengen zone hopping. If you see that, speak to the van life people and that actually live in their van permanently and travel Europe, they just go from one area to another. We're into Turkey, which is again 90 days, and they just hop backwards and forwards. This all becomes so complicated that there is actually an app that I've got on my phone which allows you to input the days that you spend in various areas, and that will tell you how you stand, how many days you've got left before you've got to leave.
But as you know, I like paperwork, So I've got a book that we're filling it in as we go along.
Either way works, but you do need to keep track of it. So here we are then, day 11 in the diary room, and I'm sure you won't be able to see this because it's fairly dark, but it is currently 10 to 2 in the morning.
Listen.
And the rave next door started at 9 o'clock yesterday evening. And it's still going very, very strong. Along with the odd car racing up and down the road and lots of squealing of tyres and all sorts of stuff. So isn't this wonderful? The lesson to this is don't camp just outside Bucharest. Bye bye. Morning everybody. I'm sure you still can't see me, but it is now 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, that's 5 AM, and I'll repeat once again, this music's been playing since 9 o'clock yesterday evening. Isn't that wonderful? Here we are with our normal mode of transport in Romania. We do see quite a few of these, as I said
Yeah.
in a previous video.
So they do filming, YouTube.
In 50 meters, at the roundabout, take the first exit onto Sosea where Alexandria, DN6.
This would be interesting. To get out on the roundabout. You want a big old gap for that. Quick, accelerate now. Quick.
Tell the horse.
Yeah. You'll have to excuse us today, because if you saw the couple of blank videos I made during the night, you'll know that today's going to be fairly manic.
Yes.
Based on the 2 or 3 hours sleep that we've had. So SatNav has just told us that we are 5 kilometres to the border control between Romania and Bulgaria. And this is where the queue of trucks starts. So 5 kilometres out from the from passport control. What a life to be a truck driver out here, you know. So here we are on Friendship Bridge, designed in 1954 by some Soviet geezer.
Oh, it opened in 54.
Oh, it says so.
Like, yeah. Oh, look at this.
Oh, one side was 52, the other side was 54.
That's when they started it, and that's when they finished it.
Designed by some Soviet geezer. This is, guess which river we're crossing. Could it be we're going back across again the Danube, do you think, by any chance? If I had £1 and all that.
I'll take you over to the left.
This is the border between Romania and Bulgaria. Technically is the centre of the bridge. We haven't done passport control yet, just a €3 toll for the bridge.
Which is a bargain, it's half the price of the last one.
Yeah.
Last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, the bridge we crossed last year, which was further west, was €6, strangely, and a shorter crossing. It's fairly spectacular.
Oh. Lovely steelwork again. Look at that.
Oh, beautiful steelwork.
That looks brilliant in the camera.
Look at that. Light on water over there.
Let's take you over to the left. Oh, I've got a nice feeling, haven't you?
Beg your pardon?
Bulgaria.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
Yes.
Yes. I knew what you meant.
I've got a big smile on my face, you can't see it, but I have.
And there we are. Technically, we are in Bulgaria, although we still have to go through passport control. Wherever you go, whether it's Western Europe, Eastern Europe, there are two things that are totally consistent. Every single place you go to. Lidl's and McDonald's. McDonald's we don't use so much, but Lidl's, here we are again. So here we are in beautiful Bulgaria finally. Please join us for the next 90 days. Let's not get involved in that again. We've already done that one. Anyway, please join us for the next 90 days while we travel around Bulgaria, looking at the different sites. It's beautiful, it's just green whichever direction you look. Fantastic scenery, fantastic monuments. Come along with us while we check everything out. Thank you. So there will be a bit of a surprise at the start of the next video. Some of you will be aware of this already, so if you know, you know, and if you don't, well, you don't. You'll have to watch, won't you? So Ant, here we are back in Bulgaria. How does it feel?
Well, I tell you what, it feels like coming home.
Oh no.